Hey everybody, I am Justin.
And I'm James.
And together we are
Dollarwise Gamers.
All right, talk for me, though, because I haven't got your levels yet.
Every time I talk for you.
Every time I talk for you. Every time I talk for you.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Drugs are good for you. Well, wait. Yeah, actually, some drugs are good for you. There's always a trade-off with drugs.
It's true.
Yeah, you're going to get something for something else. Like, there's no, like, you just get this. It's going to do something else. Even like your Tylenol and your Motrin. Like, do you want to hurt your stomach or do you want to hurt your liver? It's up to you.
Right.
You know? So,
yeah, George Carlin's got a good bit about it. He's talking more about, like, recreational drugs, but, you know, how it, like, starts as, you know, oh, there's this huge plus and very little minus, and then you do it more and it starts to swing all the way to the other side where it's all minus and no plus.
Yep,
and,
there's no benefit.
Yeah, like, people thought he was a big druggie and he'd done a lot of drugs, but he had also, like, reached an endpoint with most of them where he didn't do them anymore.
He's like, I'm done. This is it. This is as much as I need to do.
But yeah, like everything, you know, everything's got an endpoint.
We miss George Carlin.
We do. George Carlin was the master.
Yep. He's one of those people that I rank up there with, like, not in the same kind of genre, but with Carl Sagan. And it's like one of those people that I never really knew, especially when they were prolific. And it's sad that
they're gone.
They're gone now, and you never will ever get to go see them live or listen to a lecture or anything like that. It's all over.
Unique voices.
Yeah. So,
True.
All right. So, do we owe people an apology? It's been almost a month since our last podcast.
And we said we were going to, like, power through and we are going to make it happen.
And it didn't.
We, you know.
It didn't happen.
It didn't happen. That's exactly what happened. Was it not happening?
So, as an apology, as an I'm sorry to our two biggest listeners.
Yes, they are both over 7 feet tall, as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
They measure feet differently in Canada, so I'm not sure about Levis.
Yep. Levis and Sherbets, they had asked that we video record the podcast. Guys? So, hello. This will be on our YouTube, obviously. So if you are just listening...
Can't we just video record it and still upload the normal podcast and be like, we video recorded it?
Yeah, we video
didn't know you guys
recorded
wanted to see it.
It's tough.
But
tough
yeah,
for you.
I swear we recorded it.
Yep. So, well, it is what it is.
It's true. All things are what they are.
It's true. All right, but anyway, it is episode 37, which means typically it's prime number podcast.
That 37 is a prime number.
Yes, and prime number podcasts mean no pants. No, it's a pants podcast. That's right.
I don't remember, but you said that if I refused to wear them, which I did, that you could, like, draw them in. Like you had some super technology that you got for Christmas.
Yeah, so...
Video pant projecting technology.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm using right now. Well, I mean, not right now at this moment, but when I edit this later, I will make sure that I put those pants on you.
Can I be wearing, like, blue jeans?
I think it has that.
Okay.
Let's hope.
Let's do blue jeans.
Cross our fingers.
If you can't do blue jeans, forget the whole thing.
Okay. All right. So if you're seeing the video, then it worked.
It's true.
Yeah. So sorry that this is the setup that we do. So this is what you get to see. This is not like anything special. This is just our setup.
This is reality.
This is the reality of the podcast. We just sit here and we talk across the table at each other.
Justin can't record a podcast unless he can look into my beautiful eyes.
That's actually a thing.
It is.
It's on our Wikipedia.
It is.
And if it's not on our Wikipedia, it is now.
It is now.
Yeah.
Yes. On our Dollarwise Wikipedia, which we can't give you the link to right now because the traffic has been too much, so we had to slow it down.
We had to pull it back. Put it onto the dark web.
We hid it in MySpace where no one will ever find it.
Never, ever. But for some reason, we're friends with Tom.
Yeah.
Tom from MySpace. I don't know. I didn't even know he was still around.
He never sends me a gift for Christmas.
What a jerk.
I know.
Anyway, episode 37. First episode of 2016.
Yes, which should have been the last episode of 2015.
Yes.
But
you know, it is what it is.
It's true.
We are both very, very busy, especially during this time of the year.
Oh, yeah.
For all intents and purposes, I'm a single parent. I just have, my sister lives with me, so my life is pretty hectic in general.
Yeah.
But I'm not really a single parent. Like, my wife is in school over in the UK.
Right.
She actually works for the York Museum Trust while she's over there. And one of the things, because she's going to school in York, is there was some really bad flooding there.
Right.
And she was among the heroes who helped save some of the artifacts that were part of the York Museum Trust.
Yeah.
So she helped move them around, save them from the floods. So that was awesome.
Nice.
I'm really happy. I was very happy. I was like, that's my wife. Yes. But they are going through some major repairs because of this flooding.
Right.
And they have insurance, because in York you should have flood insurance because it just floods.
Yes.
But because of that, they're not actively seeking donations, but if you're interested in donating to help that cause, there will be a link in the underbar for the video, in the underbar for the podcast, all that stuff. So check it out if you want to help. They mostly, New York Museum Trust is all sorts of stuff, but in general, it's all of the history of York, and the history of York goes back thousands of years, past the Vikings, way past the Romans. I mean, it's very, very deep history.
Yeah.
So check it out. See if it's something you're interested in.
Do it.
What the hell is my computer doing?
Uh-oh.
Time out.
Sounds like.
What the hell? Okay. All right. I think it's okay now. We're going to cross our fingers. I will keep an eye on it.
We're recording the video, so
The
since we
videos.
said we're crossing our fingers. Great. Now
Yeah,
we have to do
now we
this
have
for
to
the rest
cross
of the
our fingers
podcast.
for
Thanks.
the whole
This
time.
is convenient.
All right. Well, we're going to stop crossing our fingers for now, but
okay.
mentally cross our fingers that everything will continue working.
I'll
Anyway,
focus on that. You
well,
talk
this
to
is a
people
great
listening.
start. What?
I'll focus on mentally crossing my fingers. You do the podcast.
Okay, so this is a great start to episode 37 and a whole new year. A whole new year. All right, so Tabletop Simulator is coming up January 24th. We have decided on a couple of possible games, depending on how many people want to show up. We can do pretty much as many as Tabletop Simulator will let us have. I think 8 total, right?
Yeah.
So 8 players, so 6 others, 5 others, because Sherbets has already said that they definitely want to do it. So
Nice.
But we're looking at maybe Exploding Kittens, or we didn't play test this at all. Possibly Castle Panic if there's a few less people.
Right.
So we'll look at a couple of those. Yeah, so that's all that stuff. I've got my Twitch streams on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights. Wolfpacks are on Saturday nights now, and the other streams are whatever I'm streaming at the time. You can email us at dollarwisegamers@gmail.com. And you can check us out on Facebook. You can check us out on iTunes and Twitter. All right, James, what have you been playing?
Not much. My lady is trying to get 100% completion on Marvel Lego Superheroes.
That's a challenge, I'll bet.
She's at 90.
Wow.
But she doesn't do well with the races, so I rocked out a bunch of the ground races. If you use Stark's motorcycle, it's really easy. But she was just using what was at hand. But when I started doing that, I rocked through almost all the races in short order. And then we started together playing a co-op of the Lego Batman 2.
Okay.
Also, we messed around a little bit on Gauntlet.
Yeah.
We didn't play too much, but we messed around a little bit on it.
That's a fun game.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And I don't have a lot of couch co-op games. So I was trying to look for, what I have that works well for that. And the Lego games are, they're top tier.
You know what is a good couch co-op game?
Uh-oh.
Rocket League.
Oh, I thought you were going to go Minecraft on me.
No,
I was going to rage quit this podcast and it would be on video.
I thought that we should do the video of us quitting the podcast and then upload that. That would be it. We're done. No, Rocket League. I've actually been playing a lot of that. I've been actually not playing. I've been performing poorly in that game and cussing a lot at my computer.
Yeah.
And it brings out the best in me. Makes me smash my fist down on my computer desk, which I haven't. A game hasn't done that to me in a very long time.
That's what Need for Speed games are for, man.
Well, but I like this game. It's a lot of fun. It's much more fun when you're playing with somebody else. And you know that you're not just playing with some random, where if you just screwed up, if it's somebody you can be like, yeah, dude, I'm sorry. I totally screwed that up. But if it's just some random, you don't know if they're on the other side, really pissed off at you. And you're sorry, I didn't mean to. And all you can I could type it, but not everybody.
Time, yeah.
Yeah. Not everybody can read those, because if you're playing on the PlayStation Network, because it's cross play.
Yeah.
They can't read it, and so it's But I think I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay for somebody who's only put like 30 some hours into the game in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I played Arma 3 with the Casual Shenanigans crew.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. It's definitely not a game that I think I'll play that much on my own, but I certainly will love to play with other people.
Okay.
And then XCOM. I started playing XCOM again.
It's probably because you got the board game. Inspiration.
No, actually, because I started playing it before I got the board game. I got the board game for Christmas.
It was like a psychic moment.
Actually, you know what it was I was watching Ultra Grunt on YouTube. He's also on Twitter. I met him through the Casual Shenanigans. And he's doing a series on YouTube that uses the Long War mod for XCOM.
Okay.
Adds a lot more guns, adds a lot more like character types of stuff. It's huge. It's a gigantic conversion mod. And it's very nice. It's a lot of fun, and so I started playing that.
And that's the first time you've really worked with PC mods, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, I did some modding with Minecraft, but that was easier modding because there's not much to it with a lot of the launchers and stuff. I did have to do some modding for Arma because the Arma 3 Casual Shenanigans have their own mod pack for that.
Okay.
So I had to figure that out, which was a thing.
Yeah.
But, I follow instructions very well. That's why I can make macaroni and cheese,
The only reason he can make macaroni and cheese.
But so yeah, there's that amount of modding. I don't do it a lot, but I was relatively impressed with how easy it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't as much. The Arma 3 was definitely more complicated, but they have good instructions, so
there you go.
So that's what matters for modding is if you have good instructions.
It's true. So. Or a lot of experience with it where you look at that file type, you're like, oh, I just need to drop this here or whatever. I don't really know much.
Yeah. All right, so we've got a bunch of articles that we're going to go through. After the articles, we've got our Humble Bundle.
It's true.
But we're going to do it's the monthly bundle because we missed the weekly one.
Yeah.
So sorry about that.
I didn't buy it. Did you buy it?
I didn't buy it.
Yeah,
no,
so it doesn't matter. If the Dollarwise gamers didn't buy it, then you should make your own decision and buy it if you want to.
So, all right. So first of all, so the Vive Pre, which for those who know about VR, the Steam VR, which is Vive, was supposed to release along with the controller. It was supposed to release along with the Steam Link and stuff like that. It didn't. And now all that's really going on is HTC is giving. This article is from Gamasutra or Gamasutra. It's kind of a gaming tech website.
I bet it'd be Gamasutra.
Gamasutra?
Like Kama Sutra.
What's Kama Sutra?
I don't know if I can have this conversation with you today, son.
But they're giving a second shot at a development kit for the Vive.
Can we rewind a second? Do you not know what the Kama Sutra is?
No, I do know what the Kama Sutra is. I was just kidding.
Because we could pause the podcast and we could talk about it.
Have this conversation. I'm married. I know what the Kama Sutra is. I've got 2 kids.
That doesn't mean you used the Kama Sutra to get there.
It's true. It doesn't at all. Actually, maybe if I'd used the Kama Sutra, I wouldn't have. Anyway.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Moving on. A different name for that podcast. So the HTC is making another shot at this. So they're not going to be first to market. We know that they're not going to be first to market because...
Oculus Rift pre-orders.
That's right.
For the low, low price of, oh my God.
Yeah, oh my God, indeed.
I mean, I guess it's not, oh my God. That's more than I was hoping it was going to be, though.
So here's the deal. It's not crazy to me. I was expecting it to be $500. I was not taking into account the fact that, and I know that this doesn't really justify the extra $100 that I was thinking that it is now. But there's an Xbox One controller.
Okay.
And it includes 2 games.
All right.
So, and then it's got all of the equipment, obviously. So there's nothing else you need. It's plug and play. You got the controller. Now, I wish that there was an option for those who didn't want the controller, but it's a whole bundled thing.
Right.
There's not, maybe a year from now, there might be an option for like a slimmer version or something that doesn't have this or doesn't have that.
Right.
Doesn't come with the games or something. Who knows? But 600 it's more than I was expecting, but it does give them room to do sales and things like that.
You'd hope.
I would hope so.
They won't be doing sales soon, though. I wouldn't think.
So you can do a pre-order, and it comes out in March 28th, I believe.
I just saw the price point, and I was like, I don't even have something that it would play on anyways, so...
Oh yeah, well, yeah, that's kind of a thing too. But no, it's the pre-orders begin January 6th. I believe I'd have to look it up, but I think it's like March 28th is when they will ship, or when you'll get them, or something to that effect. You gonna pre-order?
Oh, I love pre-ordering, but no.
I will not be pre-ordering this either. One, I don't have $600 to drop on this.
Yeah.
And two, I don't have enough games to really justify it.
You'd have 2 more.
I would have 2 more. And there are a few games that do use VR. And there's some more games that are coming out this year that use VR. Adrift is one that's supposed to be coming out this year.
Okay.
Uses VR. And then games that I actually currently own. I can't remember it right now. Shoot. What is it called?
Warlock?
No, not Warlock at all. See, I move around a lot when we do the podcast. This is why we don't record it.
He's just showing off. He sits there like a stone most of the time.
The whole time. Just stare at James. You have really nice
He
eyes.
does. It's really uncomfortable, and then I have to make him leave.
I can't remember the name of the game right now.
No,
I've played
matter.
it.
It doesn't matter.
It's
anyways, $600.
$600.
People are shocked, not shocked, but people are at least pretending to be shocked.
Yeah.
Because they wanted it to be less. They wanted it to come out and be like $150.
Right. Well, that's unrealistic.
I know, but they wanted it to be cheap enough that they could easily justify it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even $400, people would still be complaining, but less people.
Right.
But
and
$600 is a big price tag.
it's a very big price tag.
Like, go look and see what you can get for a TV for $600, and more than one person can use it at a time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Now, if I'm correct, I think that it's the screens that you have in there for your eyes are 120 frames per second and 2K for each eye.
The thing we can't forget is anytime a new technology comes out, 3D Blu-ray players, DVD players, going all the way back. When it first comes out, they're super expensive because that's the way it works.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It has to.
When you're proprietary technology, you've got to pay for all of that research and development.
Right. And if someone else comes out with one that's going to come out 6 months after and it's $300, it's probably not going to be the same quality. I mean, I don't know how good the Oculus Rift is. You hope it's good. You hope it's solid. But if one comes out, it's half the price. Probably not as good.
Right.
Almost definitely. So it's the kind of thing, like, yeah, if you want to be the first of your friends to have one of these things, then you're going to pay the premium. You're going to pay $600.
And I don't think anybody caught that on video because you don't know James, but he was saying if you wanted to be the first of your friends, and he's saying that to me because he wants me to be the first of his friends to get it so that he can play with it.
I like that.
You like that idea?
That works, yeah.
Yeah. So
like I'll just go when you work and I don't.
You just go.
I will just go to your house.
Go to my house and use my computer.
Yeah, I'll just be there, and then
okay.
you can tap me on the shoulder when you get home, and then I'll leave.
Yeah, you'll be like, all right, see you later. Tag.
Yeah.
My turn. Oh,
you're like, hey, family, later.
Yeah. So, actually, speaking about that, another article, because we got a lot of articles today. So we got to stretch this podcast out.
Yeah.
We got to make it long because it's on video now.
It's true.
Yeah. Hi, video.
Hi, internet people.
Virtual reality just got real. New tech lets lets users feel VR. This is from BGR.com. This is an article I actually came across months ago.
Yeah.
And we've kept putting it off.
Right after we recorded our last podcast?
Well, November 11th, so it would have been 2 months ago.
Yeah.
But basically it uses some pneumatic pistons and things like that, and there are particular games that it's working with because it's still in development because it's not even a real thing. It's more like some college people got together and it's like, hey, let's make this work because we know how to make computers do magical things.
Right.
And so they did magical things with the computers. And it was really interesting. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like that it's the next step. So you get the VR and then you wear something that makes it feel like you're actually, like you go to punch something and it feels like you actually hit something because a pneumatic actuator is hitting your hand.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. But then an article just came out as part of this whole like, oh my God, VR is a real thing now. Like pretty soon everybody's going to be using VR. And this is a suit. So this article is from Futurism.com. And this is in conjunction with the CES. CES 2016 is going on literally right now.
Okay.
It goes on through Saturday.
Right.
And we always cover CES.
Yeah,
we covered
that'll be the next podcast because it won't
exactly.
be. Yeah.
Yep. We covered it in our previous podcast. We covered it last year. We like CES. It's got a lot of cool information, little things that we really enjoy about technology.
And we have to try to look to actually going.
One of these
awesome,
times.
yeah.
Yep. So there's this thing called a Teslasuit. It's a full body suit, lets you feel the virtual reality. So it's something you wear, and it uses electrodes, it uses electromagnetic stuff to make you feel things that would happen from stimuli within the game and things like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know how advanced it is. I do have a price tag for it.
What is that?
It is $1,500. Wow.
And what was the like thing you could stand in where you could walk around on?
Oh, that's the I got another article for that and I can't find it now, but that actually is a reasonable price. That's like $400 or $500 for that. And then you got to buy the special shoes that were like $60.
Yeah.
That's between, honestly, here's the thing. I don't have that kind of money. I don't have $1,500 for that thing. I don't have another $500 or $600 for each one of the other peripherals.
Yeah.
But it's not an unreasonable price.
But can you, okay, so for, if the other one's we'll call it 600 with the shoes.
Yeah.
So that's 1,200 for that and the Oculus. And
Yep.
then 1,500, so 27 plus tax, so $3,000 we'll say.
Yeah.
To have full immersion.
No, because you don't even have your gaming system yet. You need your
It's
computer.
true.
So let's
It's
assume you already have a decent gaming computer that can handle all of the stuff that you need to do. You're just dropping an additional $3,000 on top of potentially anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 rig for
Right.
that you've built or that you bought or somebody built for you or whatever.
Right.
So potentially $5,000.
Right.
Okay. If you are, I have kids, so these kind of expenditures are not real. But
Yeah.
if I did not have kids, I could see myself as going, I'm going to get that. I'm going to finance that for 0% financing for whatever for the next year or something and pay it off over a year.
Yeah.
But the one problem is, what do you play on it?
Right. Right. The games don't exist.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Or at least not enough where all of that would be functional.
But so story time. Okay, years ago when I was a kid, we went to this, it was like a museum, and they had a setup that was a virtual reality thing where you wore the headset and everything. I didn't ever get to do it. One of my friends got chosen to go inside of it. And it was like that walking thing that had a circle that you had to stand within because it used that to track where the head was. Because this is all old technology. Like the same stuff doesn't exist back then.
Right.
And it was that old polygon looking like stuff because we could see what he was doing and everything. And it was like really crappy. But ever since I saw that, I was always like, I want to do that. I want to wear the headset. How come I didn't get picked? And so I've always had this, there's this like 9-year-old me inside that's like, where the fuck is my headset, man?
Yeah. Why can't I have that?
Why can't I have that headset? So I'm excited about VR. I can't say whether or not I'll be getting a headset this year.
Yeah.
Because of other things in my life.
Of course.
But I would love the idea of being able to have one. I don't need the suit and stuff. That's really fun and cool. And the future looks amazing for gaming if this stuff like comes to fruition and it's as good as they are seeming to make it.
Well, the next Powerball is like, it was $650 million this morning.
Oh, so we should start playing that.
Which means it's like people will be buying it like mad.
Yeah.
So if I win that,
will you buy me this stuff?
I will totally buy you this stuff.
Oh, man.
And a much better computer than the one you have. And I know you have a nice computer, but I'm telling you, much better.
You send the money to Casual Shenanigans, have them build one for me.
The best they could.
The best they could. It's like, here's $5,000. Build the best computer you can with this.
Yeah.
That would be awful nice of you.
And then we'll just play until, like, we poo ourselves.
Yeah, yeah. That would be awesome.
Deal.
Not the pooing ourselves. That would be kind of gross.
If you're not going to do that, then forget it. It's off.
No, never mind. I'll do it. I'll take one for the team.
I will poo myself for
poo
this
myself
stuff.
for money. So there you go. There's one other article I want to hit on. We're going to skip over these like highest reviews from PC Gamer and the 44 games we can't wait to play in 2016 because we're going to hit a little bit of that stuff when we come back to our community stuff where we asked a question, got some feedback from the community. But last one is from IFLScience, or I fucking love science, I think is basically what it's called. Compulsive gamers display unusual brain wiring. Now, you heard a little bit about this on Reddit. I did.
It seemed like an interesting article, and my lady read some of it. But yeah, I don't remember a lot of the details. The main thing that I came away with is they were unsure. Like, the brain connections are a little more comprehensive, if I'm remembering correctly, with people, compulsive gamers. But they didn't know, like, which came first, the chicken or the egg.
Right.
Is the excessive gaming creating these things, or does this aspect make someone more likely to be a compulsive gamer?
Right.
But I would argue that it is very possible that the previous is true, that the gaming helps cause this, because like when you're gaming, you have to pay attention to a lot of stuff. Games are meant to surprise, which is going to increase your reflexes because you're paying attention and waiting for this thing to happen and trying to like predict, like, where's the monster going to come from? You know, how do I solve the puzzle? You know, is my reaction type like I need to take the turn in the car? Whatever it is, in all the different games, and all of those things happening. Like, video games happen generally faster than real life ever does. You know what I mean? So it would make sense that doing these
thank goodness
activities,
games would be really boring.
Yeah, or vice versa. Life would be way more dangerous, and it's already dangerous. But doing all these things repetitively would make sense that it would, you know, improve aspects of the brain. So I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm just a gamer.
Yeah,
and a Dollarwise one at that.
Yeah, indeed. So Dollarwise that you're actually considering getting off of the Humble Monthly bundle. Let's hit this on the head, man. Like, you basically told me I'm a bad person for liking the Humble Monthly bundle for the last couple of months.
I said horrible person.
Well, horrible and bad.
I said if you get another Humble bundle, we're not going to be friends anymore, but we can still do the podcast.
I think I'm okay with that. I mean, we don't even play games together anymore.
It's true. I don't play games pretty much almost at all.
That's true.
It's weird. Am I really? That's how Dollarwise I am. I don't even waste the electricity to play games anymore.
I'm not even playing games anymore. But yes, we've had the third one. The third Humble Monthly.
It's true. And this is where I said I was going to draw the line. But then they did, hey,
they
Alien Isolation,
something in front of you for February.
The first game that's been listed that like is a game that I wanted to own. And I know like they have put good games in all the bundles.
They have. They're not games necessarily that you really wanted.
Right.
Or that you necessarily would equate with being super good or that game that you've been thinking about.
Right. But the thing is, if a stranger looks through my game collection, they might look at some of those games and be like, oh, you own that and you own that, and it might give me some cred.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. I've been thinking about this for a while.
Okay.
The Humble Monthly bundle is not for you.
Who's it for?
It's aimed at people like me and people that are just behind me in age group.
I'm too old. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say that. I said that
is there some advocacy group that can help me out here? Man,
so,
I'm feeling attacked.
It's not for you. It's not for you.
It might not be.
It might not be.
It's very true.
And
they're going to have me for one more month, though.
They are, because you're really interested. And it's interesting that you're interested in that game, because that game is a survival game.
I know. And I don't know if I'd play a lot of it, but there's part of me that enjoys those games. And I think it might be a fun game to play with my lady, like us together. Because it's like playing a video game, but it's a horror movie at the same time. So, like, playing those by myself on the couch with the light, because I'll do that. I won't play that during the day with the lights on. No, I will wait till it's nighttime, and then I'll turn the lights out.
Yeah, he's a real gamer.
And then I will play the game, and then I will get, like, so, like, stressed out, you know, that I can only play for so long.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm freaking out, you know, like, I don't know. They had me for one more month.
I will say that it will be interesting. It would be interesting to try to stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if we can ever make it work.
Well, okay, here's something. I want someone to email us and tell me one game from each of the Humble Monthlies, and you can look it up, probably on Wikipedia, if not. I don't know if the history is on Humble Bundle.
Or you can go back and listen to our podcasts that have it.
It's true. Either way, you find out one game from each one, and I will play for like a half hour to an hour of each one.
I've got one for you right away.
This isn't about me and you, Justin. It's about me and them.
Sorry.
Okay. And I will play each one for like a half hour to an hour and see if I like it. So we'll see. You tell me the best games you think that are in there, and I will play them, and then I will come back and I'll give reviews of all of them.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
So this is a call out to anybody who's listening, but probably Sherbets and Levis, if there's anything in particular that you want James to play.
Right.
Yeah. Or any of the Casual Shenanigans crew that listens.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is games you think I might like. And if you've listened to the podcast enough, or just games you think are great if you don't really know my taste, that you think that I should like.
That you should
try. A lot of people would like, yeah. And I'll give them all a try.
Yeah.
It's going to force me to game. I need to get some more gaming time.
You do need to get some more gaming in.
I do. It's just, the bottom line is, and we've talked about this a lot, and you know this, there are no games out there that I really want to play. And I don't know what that is. The only game. Well, we're going to get to 2016 in a minute.
Yeah, but the thing is that like the games that are out there, sometimes you just have to find those sleepers. I didn't realize how much Rocket League was good.
Yeah.
Like I've heard so many people saying how good it is, but it wasn't until, and I don't play those kinds of games. That is not my style of game.
Oh yeah.
You know my style of game, and that's not it. But I really like it. There's something about it that's entertaining and fun and enjoyable. And you just, maybe one of those games is in that Humbled Monthly.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it as well. I think part of it is that I am getting some of that itch scratched by board games.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
almost more like I would rather try to find time. Like we've had a couple times in the past month where I've come over there. One time I was there for like 11 hours.
Yep.
I think that was before the last podcast.
Yeah, we talked about it in the last podcast.
And recently we played more. We had those like that 2 kind of sessions on back-to-back days where we played a bunch. And I do want to play some more. We definitely need to do some adult-only games.
And I like board games.
I want to play. Oh yeah,
we like board games. Board games are arguably some good Dollarwise deals as well, depending on how you go about it. If you're like him, that's like, ooh, what do I want to buy now?
If I stop buying for like 3 years, it'll end up being a Dollarwise deal.
Yeah. You have quite a big selection.
I do.
But either way, I actually did I'm going to start a series. I just did the first one basically for January. So I started in 2016. Every single one of the Humble Monthlies, I will play 10 minutes of each one. I'm going to record it. I'll put it up on YouTube. I'm not going to stream it. I streamed the first one, but I'm not going to stream them in the future.
Yeah.
I'm just going to record the 10 minutes of each. I'll do it all in one shot, so one right after another. And I've decided, and I will decide after that 10 minutes, do I love the game? Do I like the game? Or do I lose the game?
Right.
And love it means I leave it installed. I'm probably going to play it again soon. Like it means that I'm probably going to uninstall it because it's not a game that's really in my wheelhouse right now. But It's good. It's good, and people should play it. Or lose it. I'm going to uninstall it and forget that I ever even owned it.
Right.
Except for the fact that I love having a really large library in Steam. I would consider actually deleting it from my library, but that's
counterproductive.
It seems like a waste. If I could give it to somebody, that would be at least something, but I can't.
True.
So that's not a thing. All right, let's hit the Humble Monthly since we've been talking about it.
Okay, I'll just rock it out because you've been talking this entire time, not letting me get a word in edgewise.
Wow.
You've been spending too much time with Janet.
Jerk.
Okay, so the Talos Principle. It's a sci-fi puzzle game. Talos, whatever. I'll pronounce it how I want. It's like Talos, whatever. Okay, meta of 85, user of 8.5. It's weird. 5 out of these 6 games did not show a price on Steam on the site that I use. I think it might be a glitch.
Okay.
Because they're all Steam. And I like Grim Fandango Remastered has got to be available on Steam.
Oh yeah, it definitely is.
So like I don't have Steam
prices
for most of them. I didn't want to run around and like track it all down. So these are the best prices I could find generally, not counting Steam. And the first one, $27, came out in late 2014. And then the Master Plan, it's an action heist game, had a meta of 68 and a user of 7.5, $20, and came out early 2015. And then Mushroom 11, it's an action puzzle game, 78 meta, 7.1 user, $15, late 2015. Grim Fandango Remastered, point-and-click adventure, 84, 8.4 for the user, $15, early 2015. Spelunky, a platformer, which this game looked kind of fun to me. Of all of them, it's the one that...
And it's couch co-op.
Okay. Oh, nice, nice. Bonus. Maybe I will give this one a try. Or whatever is suggested. So it's got a 90 meta, but only a 7.2 user, which still isn't bad. $15, late 2013, and then A Fistful of Gun. It's an action game, 62 meta, 8.2 meta, or user, unless you count Justin's score. $12 and late 2015. So again, more recent games generally. Reasonably, like no like pits kind of scores on this one.
They're solid scores. I mean, compared to some of the like humble weeklies.
Yeah,
that we've reviewed before,
or the general humble bundles.
The general humble
bundles, a different thing.
Yeah.
Although the weekly does have the Tom Clancy thing where you can get into the beta of the Division. Worth mentioning. So if you're seeing this now, I think it was $9 for the mid tier that got you into the beta of the Division.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it might be worth looking into.
Oh, I might have to look into that.
It's a bunch of Tom Clancy games too, so I mean it's a pretty consistent in that genre.
Yeah, if
They've
you
been
like
a pretty
that kind of
consistent
stuff.
presence.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So I did play all through 10 of those, except for Grim Fandango, and the only reason I didn't do Grim Fandango is I was having problems with the streaming software with it, because it's an older game.
But you played the original, right?
I did, and I loved it, and I will play this one again. And so there was no reason, because
you were going to fight the battle for a game you already knew what you were getting.
Yeah, so I left that one installed. That was a no-brainer. I was excited about that.
Yeah.
So, but the rest of them you can go check out. The video's an hour long. Which is weird because there's 5 games and it ends up being an hour, but there's some transition time between. So yeah, but it's good. It's an interesting video. Watch it. Let me know what you think.
Okay, so really quick, not to spoil the video, so they can watch it. You should put a link in the underbar if you didn't already.
Actually, on the video on YouTube, I can put a link right on the screen.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you should do that, but really quick, if you. And whoever's going to email does not need to use this as a suggestion. If you were going to recommend one of these 6 games to be the one I was going to play of this, since you actually played them all, which one do you think it would be?
Well, I like that you're interested in Spelunky. I think you and Jamie would like trying to play that through, or play some of it. Right. It's if you like platformers. Yeah,
I mean, it always reminds of the old school, old school format. So there's something fun about it.
Yeah, I don't. I think you would enjoy at least a half hour. I don't think that it would sell you on it, but I think that you would enjoy the puzzles in Talos Principle.
Okay. Just wondering.
So, yeah. I don't think it would sell you. I don't think the half hour would be enough.
We have the video going, but Levis isn't watching because he is playing Star Wars The Old Republic right now.
Yeah, what the heck, Levis?
Seriously. Why are we even recording this video?
Yeah. I mean,
you better get back to it and watch it later.
You better.
It's not even a Steam game he's playing.
Yeah.
It's a non-Steam game.
It's a Canadian game. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. So we did all of those things. So now for emails and stuff like that.
Okay.
We didn't get any emails because I think everybody thought we probably died because we hadn't released a podcast. So again, sorry about that.
That's true. We didn't. Oh, and you know what we didn't say? Like, Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all those things that happened.
Yeah. So I hope it was great.
And Star Wars was awesome.
Star Wars was awesome.
Oh, we didn't even think to talk about that, but I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
But we both really enjoyed it.
Really enjoyed it. I walked out of the theater and wanted to turn right back around and go watch it again.
I felt like a kid again when the music started and the Star Wars started scrolling up.
Yeah.
I kind of settled into my seat and I got a big grin on my face. I'm like, oh.
Well, see, me and my kids, we had watched 4, 5, and 6 the nights before leading up to it.
Yeah.
And I had gotten into the habit because it scrolls too fast for my son to like read it and get it. And my daughter obviously can't read yet. Right. So I was reading it. And it was really funny because right when that started scrolling up, my daughter leans over and she's 5. So she was really excited about going to see this movie, which made me happy as a parent. Like I did a good thing.
You got her into Star Wars.
Yeah, she leaned over and she goes, "Daddy, read." I was like, "Oh, yay!" Nice. So I whispered it to her, so I didn't, because it was packed. I went on it was on Christmas. I was going on Christmas. It was packed.
So. The Monday after it got released, me and my brother and his wife, and then my girlfriend went to an 8:45 a.m. show. The Monday after it got released, and it was like 2/3 to 3/4 full.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did you have to order early?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I had to order like 3 days before, and in order to get decent seats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I still plan on going. I think we're going to go see it again sometime.
I want to see it in 3D and on a big screen, like a huge screen. Like, because you don't get that at home.
Right.
You know, I didn't want to spend all that money for the 2 kids.
Yeah.
So
no.
I just went with the cheapest option. But no, very good. I loved it. I loved everything about it. There wasn't anything I disliked.
And that's why we didn't record the podcast, because we want to saw the movie.
Yeah, sorry.
Let's stick with that.
Yeah, let's go with that. All right. Okay. All right. So anyway, I had tweeted something out about what would they like to hear on the podcast this week.
Okay.
And Sherbets responded that Sherbets wanted to know what our game of the year for 2015 was. And they didn't specifically mention what we're looking forward to most for 2016, but we might as well hit it because that's what a lot of these kind of podcasts are during this time of the year. So 2015 game of the year for you.
Okay, so we were talking about this while you were setting up and we were setting up. H1Z1, as far as games that we've played, probably was the new game of the year that we put the most passionate time into.
Yes.
As I continue to think about it, and I don't own it, and I've never played it, but I think Witcher 3 would probably be my game of the year. Because I'm still waiting to get a deal on it.
Yep.
And I could have gotten it for half price, but there's always
yeah, because it was like $25 during the
right.
I
almost got that. Yeah. I almost got during the sale. I almost got Galactic Civilizations 3, but it was like at the end time. It was like the last day, and like I wanted to see if you wanted to get it too. And then by the time I was like, oh yeah, let's do that, it was too late. The sale was over.
Oh.
But I think as far as my taste in games go and what I really enjoy to do, I think that is probably the game that fits the niche, even though I've never played it. So officially H1Z1, unofficially, potentially, Witcher 3.
And you had also mentioned, we hadn't talked about it on the show, but you had also mentioned one of the reasons why you're super excited, you liked Witcher 3, was more about CD Projekt Red than anything and how they treat, the whole process and, and
like
their gamers.
A good company is easy to get behind.
Yeah.
And they seem like they're a good company that cares about their customer base.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that like to say they care about their customer base, and that's the slogan.
Yeah.
But it's not the reality.
Right.
You know what I mean? The reality is the bottom line or whatever.
And that doesn't mean that there aren't people within that company who do care about customers.
Oh, of course.
But as a corporation, it's a line that's dragged.
Right.
So I would generally agree. I have actually played Witcher 3. I can see why it should have been, like, PC Gamer did not give it Game of the Year. Can you believe that?
Did you follow 4?
They did not.
Would they?
They did.
Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid.
And it's hard because I could see arguments for all those games, even though I'm not a fan of the Metal Gear games.
Yeah.
Just their popularity. And sometimes it's just the nature of the people doing the voting, and sometimes it's nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like I love this series.
Yep.
But
it's kind of like I had to remind him that Warlock was actually from 2014, and so he wasn't allowed to put it.
I don't even think it's 2014, man. I think it's older than that.
Is it?
Yeah.
It? No, the game, yes, is older than that. But when you got it was 2014.
Okay. But I mean, yeah. Well, Game of the Year would be game release.
Then when it released.
Like, I would like to give Warlock honorary mention.
It is our gold standard, unfortunately, for Dollarwise gamers.
It's not my fault you're not committed to any of the games you like.
Hey, I put in 20-some hours into that game.
Yeah, I put 555.
Yeah. But H1Z1 was one we had a lot of fun with. Put in a lot of hours. Really enjoyed it. The only complaints I have now is that I wish the development would have continued. Like, it's still developing, but not at the speed that I wish it was.
Right, but that's because you're playing.
I'm not. I haven't
that's
played
one of the
it in a
problems.
long time,
Yeah, but that's one of the problems with early access. You're still playing in the sandbox.
Yeah.
As they're building the sandcastle. And
yeah.
if you really like the game, they're probably never going to be able to build the sandcastle fast enough for you.
Right.
And
it's nice that I own it, and I hope that it doesn't die. I hope that it never dies. I hope that it eventually releases.
And when that happens, then I'm willing to jump in and give it a shot again. But we ought to look at some similar games. Now, all of those kind of early access are going to have server wipes. I know.
And even once H1Z1 fully releases, there's going to be server wipes from time to time.
And early access is pre-sales. Damn it.
Yeah. And I tend to buy a lot of early access. I don't like pre-orders, but I buy a lot of early access.
Yeah, well, at least you get a chance to play the game right away, which is something. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, it could die.
And hopefully it doesn't.
But, I mean, does that mean that, like, our game of the year is H1Z1? I mean, we definitely got our $1 per hour out of it.
Oh, certainly. And
because I think I put the better part of 80 hours into it.
And we were just looking at it. I put almost 190.
And I think I might have gotten it at $10. I think I got it on a
you
sale.
bought me mine.
Did I?
Yeah, you bought me that and Child of Light.
Oh yeah. Because I wanted to. No, I bought the podcast those games. We just applied them to your account.
Yes, that's right.
We got to be, Justin's touchy. Actually, I got him a Christmas gift. We were going to open it on the podcast that didn't get recorded. And I'm like, okay, dude, I bought you a gift and it cost me right around $12. So he knew ahead of time so we could go and
So I got him a gift. Yeah. What? And you got me
the expansion for the zombie board game,
the zombie board
survival,
game, which we played the other day. Yep.
And it did improve the game.
It did. It did make it more interesting. We still haven't really won. The zombies have always won. And you play against each other. But the zombies still keep winning.
It's true. And then you got me. We didn't even play test this, or something. We
didn't play test this. I think is pretty much what it's called.
We didn't play test this at all.
Yeah.
Let me.
It's one of those draw a card, discard a card.
It's very Flux like.
Yes.
The rules are very fluid. We didn't play test this at all.
Yeah.
Which has been out since 2007.
So that's what I got for him. That was our Christmas presents for each other. In the previous podcast, we opened our Christmas gifts on the show.
It's true, and that was the plan this time, but
it kind of fell through.
Yeah.
So H1Z1 for 2016.
Yes.
For the Dollarwise game.
2015.
2015. Yes. Sorry. What are you looking forward to the most?
I have been trying to find games to.
There's got to be something though, James.
I know. Like I keep looking through, and maybe I need to do more research on specific games. There's some because I really enjoy the medieval genre, and Skyrim and Diablo 3, Divinity. I mean, I put a lot of time into those 3 games, and they're different, but they have a similar kind of setting. So there's a game called, I think, Scalebound that I'm slightly interested in. There's a couple others, but nothing that I'm like, oh man,
that's the one.
I know when it's coming out and everything, except for Lego Marvel Avengers, which comes out on the 16th of this month.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
So all right.
I'm probably not going to buy it right away because, I own almost all the Lego games.
If you do buy it and you decide to buy it through Green Man Gaming, you should use our discount code.
Will do.
20% off.
But it comes out at $40, but I own almost all the Lego games. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm missing 3, maybe 4 of them.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of Lego games.
But we've talked about the Lego games before. Lego games are actually one of those good.
Oh, yeah. Well, I almost always pay $5.
Yes.
Because it'll go 75% off when they drop down to $20.
Yep.
So I got to wait, maybe
a year.
Yeah. I mean, me
8
and
months.
Jamie are playing Batman 2 co-op. And then she's got the Lego Jurassic World she's playing. So I don't need it right away to fill the niche. I have a couple, because I have Batman 2 and Batman 3 that we can play through, me and her together.
Not us. We're not allowed to play together.
You can't do, it's not an online co-op game.
I know.
Or we would,
we could sit next to each other and play.
But we live so much farther. I mean, I don't really live down there, but I stay so much farther away than I used to. But this podcast is not the time for a guilt trip.
Yeah. Anyway,
but that's the one game that I know I'm looking forward to. But I'm keeping my eyes open. I'm trying. I want a game that I can get
that you
into.
can look forward to.
Right. I'm just not finding one.
So I sort of have. I have one definitely that I'm looking for.
No Man's Sky.
Exactly. No Man's Sky.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows it's No Man's Sky. It's all 100% in my wheelhouse. It's everything that I want in a game.
Yes. Which means that there's a reasonable chance it's going to disappoint you.
Yes.
Because you're so super hyped. It's so everything you want.
Well, see, that's the problem is when I started playing Fallout 4 I was super hyped and it was sort of everything that I wanted to. And I played it and I played the hell out of it for a month straight. Yeah. And then I haven't touched it since because it does what Bethesda games do. And it's just there's too much to do. And I'm just I need something to scale back. I need a simpler game. But anyway, No Man's Sky is what I'm looking forward to. I really want to find people to play with for that, but I don't know how that's going to work because there's not any information out there. There isn't even a release date yet.
Yeah.
Sometime in the summer, I think.
Yeah.
The other game that I'm potentially looking forward to is XCOM 2, but I'm really looking forward to it as more just like, I love the XCOM games. I liked the first one. I played the hell out of that game, both on the Xbox and on my PC.
Yeah.
The XCOM 2 game looks interesting. I'm excited about it, but I'm expecting it to let me down. That's the problem. And I don't want to spend $60 on a game that's going to let me down. I don't even want to spend $48 on a game that's going to let me down.
Right.
And so I probably won't buy it until there's like some crazy good deal on it.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it because I'm looking forward to seeing some other people play it and get an idea what the game is like, and then to start hearing some reviews, but I'm not expecting a lot.
Yeah.
And I get your feelings that there's nothing out there. No Man's Sky, there's a part of me that's like, it's the same thing where there's going to be a lot to do, and eventually you're just going to be like, unless I'm playing with somebody else and we have a goal, it becomes H1Z1, us logging into the game, sitting in our base and just chatting.
Yeah.
Because there's, what are we going to do? There's nothing to do. So, which is not a problem. Like that's a great way to spend time with somebody. Yeah. That's how you want to spend time with someone. But that's pretty much it. So 2015 was H1Z1. You're looking forward to Batman.
Lego Marvel.
Lego Marvel. And I'm looking forward to No Man's Sky.
And I'm sure there'll be more games. I got to really look into it. Like, what are the good RPGs coming out this year,
Yeah.
We'll see.
Oh, well. So anyway, Tabletop Simulator board game night for us on January 24th. I will have just come back from the UK. I'm leaving next week to go see my wife. I will actually be gone when we're supposed to be recording the next podcast, so we will have to figure that out.
Yeah. We
either
might have to skip another.
Or we'll record it early, or record it late, or we might record over the internet. But I would rather do early or late thing. We'll talk about it later. You can email us. Seriously, we don't bite. DollarwiseGamers@gmail.com. No, James. No. Facebook is where you can find out where things happen. Actually, I've been tweeting a lot more than anything. Tweeting at DollarwiseGamers. I'm sorry, at DollarwiseGamer.
It's true.
Because there's only one of us on
Character
Twitter.
limits.
Yep.
Twitter's all about that.
Yeah, indeed. You can check us out on iTunes and Stitcher. If there's another place you want us to, you want to find us, just let us know. If you want to make it easy, if you need us to make it easier for you to download the podcast, whatever, just let us know. Email us and give us some suggestions, and we'll try to make it work. As always, we want to thank Janet. Thank you, Janet, for running the camera. Appreciate that. Wave.
I think she's sleeping.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Is that what she looks like when she's sleeping?
Yeah. She always looks angry.
Yeah.
Especially when she's sleeping. That's just creepy.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Brennan, for our wolf packs. And thank you, James, for another year of podcasting.
It's true.
Yeah, another year.
We did it.
We did it.
We did it.
Woot.
Enjoy your existence. Especially you, Levis and Sherbets.
Yeah, this is for you, people.
These are real pants.